So what are you working on?
Well, I swept the inside out. I took the vacuum cleaner in and I vacuumed up some sawdust and some dirt. And
We should, well, never mind. I was going to say we should almost back it out and give it a wash, except for the fact that, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's snow raining outside, so plenty of time to do that later.
yeah, I'm not worried about washing it. It's going to sit all winter anyways. So.
Yeah. So, anyways.
I would like to get that chair out of there if we could.
Yep.
We'll have to back it out to do that.
That is no problemo. I was just thinking a person could almost back it in. Well, whatever. Or I take and dug out the 359, patch or stick something over those rust holes and then drag it outside and leave it outside.
Oh, good, yeah.
And then that way there's more room for you to finish tinkering on this, and then there's more room for people to come see the shop and see how big it is. But anyways,
whatever you want to do.
I don't feel like doing anything, but that's not going to get anything done.
I'm a little on the stiff side, so.
Oh. Yes.
Falling down on the ice didn't help.
No.
Tweaked my neck and my shoulder hurts, my arm hurts, and
Need some rollbacks.
my hip hurts. And it just hurts, that's all.
It just hurts.
And then my hand, I gouged that, so I'm kind of a cripple right now.
Well, that's no good.
I know.
Well, and that's
But that's normal for the case.
Well, and of course, because of the icy and slipperiness,
It's my own damn fault because I was thinking I was so smart because my shoes weren't slippery on the ice. Boom. Yes, they are.
yeah, Dad wiped out yesterday at our house because I was working out in the shop at the other house, and he came around Kenny, and of course it's warmed up, so it's icy, and then it's wet, and it's a bit of a slope there, but anyways, yeah.
And when you get older, you hurt longer.
Yeah. Don't bounce back quite as quick.
Well, I could fire this thing up and back it out, and then we get that chair out of there.
Yeah. Well, we might as well do that first.
Okay.
I can putter, but I'm going to give Dad a hand to get a chair out, so.
If it will come out.
Yeah. Worst thing with this is now I find myself looking at RVs like
I should
diesel
take
pushers.
it to Mexico and get that door repainted.
Yeah. The paint's come off a bit because somebody tried to break into that door and then it was duct taped on, and then Dad fixed it, so.
Well, we had to fix the hinge, so we had to duct tape the door on to keep it when I brought it home.
Yeah.
But, oh well. Okay, I'll fire it up. I'm going to open the door so the exhaust goes outside.
Does it have screens for the front window?
Is what?
Screens for the front windows? I was just noticing there's snaps around the side window.
Well, you have those, and I don't know if they're in here or not. They're screens that you put over the windows that people can't see in, that you can see out.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they're in here or not, but...
The 359 wasn't in the way. You'd be able to open baggage doors.
Yeah, put the slide out.
Yeah.
I'm just going to open the door a little bit because the exhaust goes down. So.
Okie dokie. So this is where I left off. Now, I don't want to make the interior dusty for obvious reasons, but I wanted to take this off so I could clean it up a little bit and so the door closes better. Because the one problem, well, for one problem, this is tight, so of course that's why it is grinding a groove in there. But because of that raisiness, it's chewed up the door rubber. And you can see this bottom part is corroded as well, but I can put new rubber on it and clean that up. You know, I just wanted the door to be able to close good, which now it does. Just got to give it a little boop, and she's all sealed up. But I saw some rebuilt older trucks where they had the same issue with corrosion here, and then they just got some nice stainless vent to cover it up. So so that's what I'm gonna do, is just, you know, clean this up some more. I'd like to polish all this up around there. I don't have to do it today, but I just wanted to make this so the door closes better. And I'm gonna vacuum this up. My screws are coming from the daycab company. So yeah, I'm not sure just when they'll get here, but they're gonna be here sooner than later, thankfully. Also, if all goes well, next week I will have an engine for this. So that's why I want to kind of just button things up here, good enough for now, and start pulling the engine. If all goes well, as long as he can make it and bring the engine, hopefully I can get the engine in this before we sell the house, so I can use the shop. I mean, I could do it outside, but it's not ideal in the wintertime for obvious reasons. A little more room now. Navigator. Yeah, she's a big girl. Holiday Rambler. Holiday Road. So I put some cardboard blocker there, and I'm gonna use my wire reel on that, but I'm gonna get a dust mask because it's probably not good to breathe this stuff in. And since we got the door open anyways, it'll be good. I also put a little bit of heat to that to see if it'd make this thing move a little better. So can't hurt. I mean, the good thing is it moves. It just would be nice if it moved better.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Is that the door kind of bumps right there, and I think there's corrosion under this seal that's making it bump out. So I was thinking I just pop this off. Yeah, see? Ugh. This is where, in all reality, I should put new doors on this thing. Yeah, more corrosion. But what do you do? I guess should do that. If I'm gonna do that, do it before you paint it. Or just clean it up and run with it. Well, it's the next, I was gonna say the next day, but it's a couple days later. I'm gonna put this back on, and I can't remember where I left off, but you can see that this door lip is quite corroded, which is why I want to put the parts cab doors on this. The only problem is the parts cab, like the parts truck that I got at the auction, the door handles are up here because it's newer, and these are down here. So I think what I'll do in the future, I'm going to seal this all up, put the new door panels on, and then what I was thinking is once we get this thing running and driving and, you know, and we're really getting her dialed in, put new doors on it that, you know, aren't janky, and see if I could just change the guts, you know, see if I could just, you know, take this off and put this skin on a newer door, and then that way the handle's in the same spot for the door cards. But I also got those cabs at the other house in case I want to change these on one of the Cabovers one day. I think what I'm going to try and do is just clean up this white stuff. I actually put some rust inhibitor on it, but I don't think the rust inhibitor works for the aluminum corrosion. But, and then I'm just going to get another stainless plate to hide it. And if you can't see it, it's not there, right? But if I did want to change the door surround, I can take the ones out of those salvage cabs. But that's a monumental big job, so I don't want to do it. And certainly not right now, because most important thing in this truck, get the interior back in, get the marker lights sealed up and hooked up, which I could do today. It won't take very long. Get the interior back in. This is for the air horn. We're gonna put a train horn on under cab, so I'll just have to run a line for that. But the kicker is getting the engine and getting it in and running, which I don't, you know, he's saying January 2nd or 3rd, he's bringing it. And it's a Series 60 out of a 2005 Freightliner. It's got about 180,000 kilometers, so that'd be, what, like 120,000 miles or so on a rebuild. And he said she was kind of juiced up a little bit. So it's out of a wreck. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's why I haven't worked on the engine, guys, because it's coming out. And you can get complete engines cheaper than rebuilding. And this block is still going to be, like, there's nothing wrong with this block, and it's a DDEC 3. The ECM is there, so depending on how it works out, I'll probably have to get a patch cord made to plug the cab into that new harness. But I don't want to pull this engine out until we know the engine's here, because of course I won't have the shop probably in a few months, depending on how it goes with selling. So ideally, the engine shows up on the 2nd or 3rd, and I get the new engine in, and I could drive it to the other house. Although I do have to fix the treadle valve because it's stuck. But that means the 359 has to come out. I had big plans this winter, but like everything, I bit off more than I can chew. And I'm not getting rid of my 359 because it's my 359. But we are gonna dung it out. I started to, and I'm gonna bring the garbage can over, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dung it out, because 359, baby, yeah. You know, she's not a cherry 359, she's a Prince George 359, but you know, we look at this corrosion, and you know, these bubbles, see, the nice thing is that's not bubbled there, but these bubbles mean corrosion, you know, very much like that door sill. So ideally, if I'm rebuilding this cab, you put a new roof cap on it, put new cab corners on it, take the back wall out, and then don't push on that, Mike, don't create a problem. And then put that sleeper on and reskin the sleeper. So, and then because the interior is totally janky in that sleeper, just replace the whole thing. Like, do a custom interior. And then, you know, they had started converting to plastic line on this truck. So, gosh, it's not bad, guys. I know Bill was telling me that, and he's the feller that sold it to me. Such a good guy. Bill's got a 359 that he just picked up with a KT 600 in it, which is super cool. But this, what is this? I guess that would have been the air dryer. I don't even know that. Well, maybe it's working. I mean, there is a line going to the bottom. I was just going to say, like, that line could be replaced if it's actually needed, which, wait a minute. We could take this right off and just throw it in the ditch. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. So, today, it's all about the 359. Dung it out, get it ready to kick its butt outside. I still need to find a rear diff affordably. I was going to say cheap, but, you know, cheap, free, one or the other. But the kicker is, you know, we look at the input shaft, or the output shaft, I should say. She's rusted, and I don't know that that's up to par anymore. And then I think, or we just find a newer rear clip. But I don't necessarily want the clip. Just unbolt the suspension, because this frame is not loaded with rust jacking. You know, if you tried really hard, I'm sure there's some in there, but yeah, there is some in there, but it's in good shape. Let me look at that. That's a hose that's been cut out. And the other thing I want to do is get the brakes disconnected so we can haul this bad boy. So anyways, Mike, stop talking. Let's get to work on this old girl. So I started pulling stuff out, or at least bagging it. And it's basically like cigarette wrappers. Ooh, there's pop cans in there. Well, a pop can is worth 10 cents here. So, it doesn't smell bad, but it makes me kind of grossed out. Orange Crush can. Yeah, in Canada we recycle. So this is worth 10 cents. So that's 20 cents. And you know what? It's not about how much money you make, it's how much of your money you can keep. So, it's 20 cents to go to truck parts. We have a clip that was obviously used for, oh hey, that's a perfectly good plug to use for something. That's a top pocket find. Save that. We've got somebody's old sweatshirt, piece of paper, an old pair of gloves, some weather stripping, VHF radio wiring, which I should just cut out, a log book. So let's see, when is the last time? The last entry was September 10th, 2004. So 20 years. The next page, nothing. Wow, that's pretty cool. 20 years this old girl's been left. Got an old lighter, another glove, seat belt, looks like a bracket for an old school radio, Kenworth floor mat. Now, it actually doesn't look bad, you know that? Except it's a Kenworth mat. W900 and a T600. Keeper. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll keep it in case I want to use it in a cab. The other side has a Peterbilt rubber mat. Speaker cover. It's broken. Do I want it? No. An old bungee cord. Huh. That's interesting. It's not even split. Like usually they crack because they're rubber. Huh. Well, might as well keep that. But yeah, like when they freeze and stuff, I'm surprised that that's because it's been in here for at least 20 years. I gotta go get a light. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Dun 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 da da da. Okay, it's less scary when you have a light. Does that make sense? Hey, the plastic. Okay. Got a flag. The plastic's still on the carpet. Oh. I'm not keeping that. It's kind of cool, actually. 1977 Pete, and the plastic is still on the carpet back here. I wonder if it looks new. Let's pull it back. Look at that. Okay, it doesn't look brand new, but there's bolts here that would have been, or pardon me, nuts. Because they would have had scale boxes there and stuff bolted to the side. So, is that a dime? Woo! There we go, another 10 cents. I'm gonna think that could be my mom. Mom always said that when you find a dime, it's a loved one that's passed away, leaving you a little note. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm gonna think that my mom is here because she loved my YouTube channel, which is cool. I should also try and fix this just so I can use it as a step. And you know, the seat is dirty, to say the least, but it's not terrible. Like, I think I can clean that up. There's not, you know, that's, well, that's, is that a, ugh, good enough to, sorry. Let's close that back up. The worst thing is the rust like there. That's a bummer, man. That's a bummer doer. Headliner, I should take the headliner down, but maybe not just yet. Maybe we'll just leave it there. Woo! Get the vacuum in here. Whew. Yeah, you see the water damage there, but we can get new door cards. New door cards and chrome plates. The daycab company, they do make Peterbilt replacement door interiors, door cards and that. So, God, this is such a cool truck. So cool. Dash is cracked there. We got those still move, but this rust is falling out of the header. Audio box. I think we'll leave that well enough alone. What do we got in here? We got an old door handle, which the screw fell out of. So Hey, that still works. I can put that sucker back on. This is what I love about the old trucks, guys, because you figure not only is it 20 years since it's been driven and sitting out in the elements, what Durex. Oh, you don't need to see that. I don't even want to know why those are in here. Just don't think about it. Just don't think about it. And I love this like, sorry. Getting a little ahead of myself. Getting a little crazy. You're getting crazy, Mike. Yeah, so anyways, you know, some of this old stuff just tells the test of time, deep reduction. So that's because it's a 15-speed diff lock. Somebody replaced a couple of the OEM switches. This is actually a Kenworth switch. This is a switch that I was looking for to replace the switches in the Pete, but actually I could have used, well, those are 3-position. Well, that one is. I wonder if that means the Pete switch would have worked. Huh. The other problem with this dash is I don't know how to get it to go back. So, yeah. Anyways. So we've got VHF wiring going out. On one hand, you think, you know, maybe you could still use this, Mike. Maybe if you want to hook up a 2-way radio, which I probably will one day, but I think I just put new ones on because it's like 30 bucks for a cord. And one thing about VHFs, like even a trade-in truck that's not that old, to get a new radio installed, you're a couple $100 with hardware for a new antenna. And you know, when you're talking communication equipment, it makes such a big difference to have good wires. So I'm not sure what this wire's for, but it's I don't know. What do we got in here? Oh, we got the original cigarette lighter. That's a top pocket find. I mean, I don't smoke, but it's, you know, we've got a brass grommet and a little bit of shrink tube and a connector. There's another connector. That's cool. This is actually still good. I'm not going to use these because they're dirty. Old and dirty. Could probably rip this carpet out too, you know that. Because it's literally falling apart. Don't breathe. The other thing I want to know is how, like, the dash has been pulled out, but how does it, is there a hinge? You guys know better than me. You know what? First I'm going to get a vacuum cleaner. Put some vacuuming into this seat. Oh, what do we have down here? Taillight. That's a perfectly good taillight. We've got the driver's side thingamajigger. We've got the Pete clutch pad, so that's good. What's behind the seat? Scale wires. Wendy's ketchup packet. So, you know what? Let's just leave that stuff well enough alone. And the cross piece is only held in with a screw. So I'll go get a screwdriver and we can take this front carpet out. Oh, and here's a repeat floor mat. A little bit worn, but we can keep it. I'm not sure if I need the mask, but we might as well safety first. Okay, so I pulled this one screw out. So now this can come out. Let's put it right there for now. More Gargi, seatbelt. That's probably where the washer fluid thing was. Air for the seat. Toe pin. New screws. Spark plug, random. Yep. Broken bungee cord. All right, let's just this is all old and yucky. God. got that. I still got carpet under that I gotta deal with, but I don't want to break this, because it'd be cool to put the original washer bottle back in it one day maybe. And there's a plywood floor. Man, that's a lot of dirt. It had carpet on the firewall too, but looks like the clutch is kind of hitting on that. But whew, we got a whole garbage can full of garbage. Carpet, if you will. Craziness. Look at all the dirt. Just a pile of dirt. Oh yeah, this is all the dirt coming out of the vacuum, because this vacuum doesn't have a filter on it, so maybe I'll wipe this up. Well, I'll vacuum the floor and then I'll wipe it up. Then I can dump the vacuum out. So I mixed up some Mr. Clean and some water, and I'm just wiping everything down. Like, you know, there's a little bit of mildewy on the steering wheel, and this takes it right off, which is kind of awesome. I mean, it's cracked, and the button's missing, but for now, she's like brand new to me. One day, if things go the way I have planned, we will put a new wheel in. But till we get her running and driving, this wheel's just fine. The other thing I need to do is figure out how to get this dash to close. I think the problem is it was pulled open and all the old wire braided air lines are basically holding it out. They're basically toast. So, like hard, when, I guess, find your words, Mike, find your words. They're hard. They're hard is what I'm trying to say. So just what, it's amazing, like the dash is already looking way better. Just way better. I mean, let's face it, the truck's a little janky, but it's a 359, so it is worth all the loving. Give me all your loving and your hugs and kisses too. Sorry, I didn't mean to sing. Everyone's gonna unsubscribe if you keep doing that. Signal stat doesn't look that old. But yeah, basically just give her a quickie wipe down. She deserves it. Oh, I got some glass cleaning wipes too. But I don't really like these glass cleaner wipes. That and they're getting kind of dried out. But I can't find my spray glass cleaner. Of course, I could probably see if Dad has some and, you know, borrow it. But, yeah, glass actually isn't even that bad in here, which is kind of impressive, really. Very, very impressive. But the damage in the roof is definitely, you know, like the sagging from moisture, water. I'm sure there's bin critters, but honestly, there hasn't. I don't know if I've really seen any mouse poops. So it's possible this thing was sealed up pretty dang good. Now, I just opened up a hole in the floor by the driver's door, so it's not sealed up anymore. But, oh, gosh, I love these old trucks. Give her a new lease on life. Nice, easy life. Just chilling like a villain. The mileage is 236,000 kilometers, and it's not the original Speedo, so pretty sure it's got more than that. Maybe like 1 million. Hard to say. Hard to say being a logger. Well, I'd say it probably is $1 million. But, I mean, if it was parked in 2004 from 77, that's, what, 30 years just about? It's amazing what just a little bit of elbow grease will do. And the other thing with doing it is it makes you feel better about your project. You know, and if you feel better about it, you're gonna, you know, do more on it, and it's just good. Yeah, this is turning out really good. These gauges are broken. I'm betting they're broken from pulling on this dash. Probably what a person's gonna have to do is replace some air lines before they can put this dash back together, because this wire braid are hard as a rock. I mean, unless I just give it a oops. Huh. Apparently those just sit on. Is there a set screw in there? There must be. I don't know. I just popped it off anyways. Well, would you look at that? That's for the air retarder. All right, I'm gonna finish wiping this down and then I'll show you guys. I'm putting the dash back in and it's actually kind of working, but I gotta there we go. Lift up on the bottom with my knee and then push it in at the top. I think once it gets used to being back where it's supposed to go, you know, I should be good for now till I get the truck running. I mean, ultimately, that's what we want to do. And, you know, then once it's running, maybe get a diff into it. Then we can look at changing those airlines. But if they hold air right now, I'm going to call it good enough. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Maybe I'll change sides. This is definitely the troublesome side, because it's got all the airlines. Oh, come on, baby. Just help me out. This one's got to go up. There. Of course, there might not even be a thing back there for it to screw into. makes life more gooder. Okay, before I show you the dash, this is bent, the vent window. I was scraping the stickers off because I don't like them. My plan so obviously someone had to get into this and kind of janked her. So I just want to bend that straight. So use my water pump pliers and very carefully scare the crap out of yourself. That's what I want to do is oh, these damn pliers. Golly. They're skipping. They're skipping a beat. Okay, well, let's just try something different here. Taking care to not break the window. Actually, let's go like that. Water pump pliers are a bit of a bugger, I'm not gonna lie. Should go get a wrench and tighten these up, I guess. Okay, well, while I contemplate my life choices, I mean, this should work. I guess it does work other than my pliers skipping out. Like that. Okay, I'll fix my pliers. And in the meantime, let's scrape these old decals off. There was some old decal on the inside that I took off. That windshield mask is steel too. Huh. Oh. There's also some little bits of welding splatter stuck on the glass. So this will scrape it off. Okay, I got the stickers off. I also got this bent a little bit. It's not perfect, but I think if I try anymore, I'm probably gonna break the glass. But check out the dash. Look at that. How awesome does that look? Looks really awesome. I managed to get it back in to do the screws up, of course. And then, yeah, I just cleaned it up, put some, I don't know, Wicked dash cleaner on it. There was that sticky thing there. I took that off and stuck it. So the heater controls work on this. You can hear, well, it was working, but it's probably stuck from rust. So, and I started to wash the floor a bit. So yeah, she's starting to look like a truck, like an old school truck. And you know, it's amazing when people complain about, well, and I mean, I guess whatever, but legroom, you don't realize how, you know, because everyone's like, oh yeah, the old trucks. You know what? Most modern day people wouldn't drive an old 359. Look where my leg is and how it's bent. How uncomfortable is that? And the seat is, yeah, right against the wall. But I love that shift knob. What is that, sticky? I'll give her another wipe, but that looks awesome. And that's an old school shift knob. That's not a modern reproduction, so. Okay, on to the next thing. So something else I'm gonna do before I carry on is I'm gonna fix this step. Now, it's not gonna be perfect, but we can make it safer. Actually, I don't really need that, I guess. Wanting to use this jack awl to kind of hold it where I can bolt this plate that I cut out of aluminum to this aluminum and make like a patch, Pidgey patch. Okay, so doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to work. In the future, one day, we can either fix it properly or we'll put different steps on. Or maybe toolboxes. Like battery box under the door maybe, something like that. It's gotta go up some more. Now, I'll just get a hammer and tap it into a better place. And then I'll see about straightening that. Ah! We'll try it again. Oops. Step's kind of right there. Oopsie daisies. Not quite. But at least now you can climb in and out and it's not hanging there. There. That's better. Well, why are you dripping fuel now? There's literally a crack in the tank. There's basically no fuel in it. So, I ain't gonna worry about it. I'll maybe stick a little jug underneath. Oh. There, a little safer. Now I'm scrubbing the floor. Making a bit of a mess, but it's inside so it can dry out. Right? Right. Definitely be better to do outside. Okay, we'll do the other side. This isn't going to be perfect, but it should be at least good enough to work on and not so gungy. I was looking in the trailer for those other legs. Yeah, and I found my scale box that I have. Oh. I got an SI 9100 SI scale box. How do you plan on getting that water out of there? The water?
Yeah, there's a draining out.
It's running out of this plywood here.
Oh.
I'll just have to get my super sucker shop vac out. Oh. Oops. Well, now I have a step I can step on. The seat still needs more shampooing, but obviously there's lots to do before we get to that stage. Carpet's all ripped out. Washed the floor. I used my wet dry vac to vacuum it up some, and we wiped down the dash and put the dash back. How awesome does that look? Oh, it looks so good. Yep. Now, I just got to seal up the holes on the roof so we can put her outside, get her to the other house, and then figure out this fuel pump to make it make smoke. And since using the jackal on that fuel tank, it spread a crack and it started leaking. I think we'll disconnect it, and obviously we won't use it. I won't take it off right now, but if anything, maybe we'll stick another fuel tank on the driver's side if we get it running. But we're quite a ways off before that happens. I can run it out of a jerry can, or I mean, I need a new rear diff to to make that work. So yeah, well, it's got some plastic lines. Somebody converted part of it to plastic lines already. But I found, guys, that it's got a spot for shop air. So let's see if it'll air up and hold air. More importantly, release the brakes. I think I already hear an air leak. There's a hole in the air tank. So, guess it's not gonna air up when there's a hole. Yeah, that was a valiant effort. Always something. Yeah. I was gonna torch this off too, and then I thought, because it's, well, janky, and this is
Well,
solid because that's 1/2 inch, and I thought, well, if a person just wraps a chain around here, it'll bend up and whatever.
I wouldn't even worry about it. It gives them somewhere to hook onto with a tow truck.
Yeah, well, I wasn't gonna
Scoop them.
cut that off,
Yeah.
but
They just pick the back end up. And, well, that's what they did before, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering if a guy should put spray foam in those holes, or do you have more of that tape stuff?
I do, but I don't know where it is. It's here somewhere.
Yeah, I think I have some at the other house, because I know I resealed the...
Because I did it on top of this roof.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still there, like on the driver's side.
Yeah, I think it's still there.
And it's here somewhere. I don't know where in the bench there. I mean, take a look and see if you can find it. It's white. And it's roll about that long.
I even wondered about putting some spray foam in the holes.
I
Probably better just to tape over, because it's
just
going to
tape
make a
over
mess.
for now, I would say. Well, you got to sit and contemplate.
Yes.
Well, a lot of things you need to think about for a while sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I find I come to an impasse, and lots of times I just have to put tools down and go away and, you know, overnight or something like that and think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of times you come up with a solution that you hadn't thought of on the moment.
Yeah, right. Well, and really I should have cleaned the inside of this thing out a long time ago, but
Well,
yeah, I mean, when it's not going anywhere, it wasn't a panic, but by the same token, if I dung it out and make it look better, well, then you know what you got to deal with.
well, it gives you incentive too.
Yeah.
It's just like the Cabover now. It's starting to look good. It's all getting back together, and you know, it's 100% better than it was this time last year.
Yes.
But it's still, you know, got a ways to go yet.
Yeah.
Did that, taking that floor thing off the bottom of the door, did that help?
Yeah. I took the weather seal off the bottom too, because the aluminum was all corroded
Oh yeah.
and off, and it was bulged at the front, so when I'd close the door, the front of the door would kind of flex out a bit. So I pulled that off, and then that was last time I was here, and Andrea was in a hurry, so I kind of left it. But I'm just going to put the weather strip back on and screw it up.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, before a guy paints it, I would like to change those doors out. Like off that salvage truck, just take the doors off of it and put on here, and then I just have to move the mirror mounts over.
Well, those are daylight doors, aren't they?
No, well, the other cab I have has daylight
Oh,
doors.
okay.
But the Ritchie Brothers Special has regular doors.
Oh, okay.
The only thing is, the interior door handle on the old door is lower, but then I thought, well, I could probably just swap door guts.
Well, will your upholstery fit?
No. They'll fit these doors, but not the...
Yeah.
Only because of where the handle is, because the door handle on the 05, it's up higher.
Oh.
But I thought if I put this door skin on and use the old style door handle, then my door cards will fit just fine, as long as... Because really the only thing on the inside of the door is the door handle.
Yeah.
So I could keep all the guts off the newer door. And of course that door, well, they're good. They're not corroded at all. in a perfect world, a guy would have stripped the cab right down and changed the door frames and all the rest of it. But by the time, I'm gonna just get some stainless or something to put over that and rivet it.
Well, why don't you just take and put it on the bench and pound it flat? That's what I was thinking you're gonna do, like where it's all bulged.
Yeah.
Just put it on the steel table and pound it flat.
I just don't think I can get it looking good.
Well, I bet you can, because it's stainless.
Yeah.
You just take your time and beat on it in the right place.
Yeah. It's not like it's gonna be a super duper show.
If you wreck it, it's no worse than it is.
That's also true.
It's amazing what you can do with, you know, like with a hammer, like with a ball peen hammer, and another, you know, and use 2 hammers, and you can beat out a lot of stuff if you're just take your time and not in a hurry.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if you're working by the hour, you know, like if this was an hourly job, no, you can't do it. It's just too much time.
Yeah.
But, you know, when your time isn't really factored into it, you can take a lot of time to beat out one small chunk of metal that's hard to replace. Unless you can find those, you might even be able to buy them.
Well, I could probably buy them.
For about $400 a piece.
Well, and they're just metal. I know in that show, the 25th anniversary Cabover, they made different door sills.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a common thing on these things to.
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably rotted. Well, I noticed that it had some corrosion under there that.
Well, it wasn't perfect. But, I mean.
Yeah, cleaning out all the white gunk and kind of sealing it up and then covering it up rather than replacing the whole door frame. Because that would be a massive endeavor.
Well, like with this thing, if the door frame had been buggered, it would have just been too far gone to even consider.
Yeah.
Like it's come a long ways and it looks good. It's got a long ways to go yet.
Well, and I figure until it gets running and driving, some of that, well, like changing the doors isn't a priority at all.
No.
Not when I have to get out of here, so. Well, even if I did, you know, when the engine shows up, I want to get that in there because then, probably the only tricky, well, I was going to say the only tricky part is hooking up the air intake because I think the other one is got a hole in it, but I could be wrong. But if I can get it running, and then I have to pull the treadle valve off so that I can make it work, and in theory, it should be drivable. And maybe I can drive it to the other house when this place sells.
Well, is this treadle valve
Stuck.
the same as Stubby?
Well, it's different because Stubby was the Pete, and this one's...
Well, I know.
Yeah.
But same idea.
Same idea, but I think it could be the plunger. Because I know on Kenny it ended up being the plunger even though I bought a new valve.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take the valve right. Like I don't want to undo all the hoses off the valve. I want to take the valve off the pedal and I can probably just clean up the plunger thingy. Because it's a metal thing. I think an aluminum housing so that it corrodes up and sticks. Basically in a day I can get those marker lights sealed up and hooked up and the rest of the cab vinyl in, but the daycab company's sending me more screws. So rather than, I thought I could finish it using old screws and then just change the screws, but if I wait for the new screws, well then I could just put new screws in.
Well, I wouldn't put the old ones in after you got new ones coming.
Yeah.
Because you're wasting your time.
And I mean, I thought, well, when the new ones come, I could pull them out and put them in, except for the fact that, yeah, I'll just wait. It's not like I don't have any other things I can do.
Exactly.
But I'll pull the marker lights off and silicone up the holes and hook them up so they work. And then that way it can go outside. I should almost use the garden hose. Not tonight, but take the garden hose to the Aerodyne and just check for leaks before it goes outside.
That's no fun.
Because that'd be some joke to ruin my new interior.
Yeah.
I mean, the cardboard gets wet and then it swells, but.
Yeah. No, you don't want it to swell.
It's too
I
nice.
wouldn't, well, I mean, those windows usually seal good.
Well, the only thing that worries me is the rubber is Amazon rubber, so they're just a little bit smaller. Not a lot smaller, but just a little bit.
Yeah, probably might even be better.
Maybe. It's funny, I'm gonna miss this shop, but by the same token, it's gonna be nice to have everything at home too.
Well, it's like now you gotta get in your pickup and go home.
Yeah. And of course, if I don't come back and do stuff tomorrow, then I won't be here until next Saturday. And it's a waste to have all this sitting here for one day a week. And I'll just build another one at the other house. Maybe.
I'm gonna be glad to get back to Hiller, and the fact that it's just a little closer to town and my own property, and I'm gonna miss the shop too, but I just can't afford to stay here any longer. Like, it's just costing me too much.
Mm-hmm.